Hey guys, it's Kelly and Daniel from FitnessBlender.com. Today we have a quick cardio warm-up for you. We have 10 different exercises that we're going to be doing for 30 seconds a piece. You're not going to need any equipment, and this routine is going to be great to get you ready for any of our other workout videos. So let's go ahead and get started.
As Kelly said, we're going to be going through each one of these exercises for 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and get started with our first one, which is going to be a boxer shuffle. In 3, 2, 1, and start up. Just trying to stay up on the ball of your foot as much as you can. Nice quick motion, hopping back and forth from foot to foot. You want to try to stay as light as you possibly can on those feet, moving back and forth as quickly as possible. Now you might want to start a little slower when you first start into this exercise, but as we get further through this, start trying to speed up a little bit more, get that heart rate up a little bit more, start trying to warm those muscles up more. Got about 5 seconds left until we switch to an overhead reach with stretch. And go ahead and switch. Nice tall stretch with those hands over top of your head. Then down to those feet and back up. Go ahead and round that lower back as you stretch down towards those toes. Then come back up, nice straight spine as you come up to the top. Just alternate back and forth. Nice deep breath in at the top. Exhale as you go down towards those toes. Just make sure you keep the motion under control, nice and slow. You don't want to get those arms out of control and just swing them around. You always want to make sure those arms are under control. And let's go ahead and switch to a slow high knee march. So pulling those knees up nice and high. Remember, this is a slow high knee march, so you're mainly focusing on trying to get as much range of motion in those legs as you can, as opposed to trying to move quickly and really trying to get that heart rate up. Don't worry, those muscles used in this exercise will do just fine getting that heart rate up and just fine getting that core temperature up. Got about 5 seconds left until we switch to a torso twist. And switch it. Nice slow rotation left to right. Again, you're moving slowly, but you're trying to focus on getting as much range of motion as you possibly can. And you can let those hips rotate left to right a little bit if you want to get those hips into it a little bit more, that hip socket. Otherwise, you can keep those hips perfectly parallel to the wall or to the ground and just rotate from that torso, keeping those hips stationary. Now you got about 5 seconds left until we switch to an alternating toe touch. And go ahead and switch it. This is an alternating toe touch kick, so that leg's going to come up in front, reaching down towards that foot with the opposite hand. Again, nice controlled motion. You don't want to just kick that leg uncontrollably. You want to feel like you could almost stop at any point through this motion and hold it. You should feel a little bit of a stretch to that hamstring as you reach down towards that toe. And the main thing, though, is trying to warm up that lower back and those glutes as well as that hip flexor in the front, trying to really get everything nice and limber. And switch to a full torso circle next. Going all the way around a nice big circle, pausing at the top, stretching that chest down towards those toes, keeping a relatively flat back. Legs nice and straight, maybe just a tiny, tiny bit of a bend in those knees, but otherwise pretty much perfectly straight. Got a lateral step toe touch coming up next. And go ahead and switch it. Just stepping back and forth. Nice, slow, controlled motion again. But you want to, again, start trying to work that range of motion. Squat down nice and low on that leg that you have underneath you. Kick that other leg out back behind you nice and far. Again, trying to work that range of motion. Everything should be under control. You should never feel like your muscles or your arms or your legs are out of control at any point. All right, moving on to squats next in just a few seconds. And go ahead and switch it. This is just a traditional squat, nice and deep. You want to keep those feet just about shoulder width apart, dropping those hips down nice and low. Again, focusing on range of motion. You want to try to get those hips as low as you possibly can, as low as is comfortable for those hips and those knees. Make sure that back stays nice and flat, even though you're not using any weight above your shoulders. It's always a good idea to practice good squat form. We're moving on to jumping jacks in just a second. And go ahead and switch it. Just a regular jumping jack. There's a lot faster motion, so really be careful not to let those arms and legs go out of control. You want to keep that arm really nice and rigid, contracting that bicep and tricep as well as that shoulder muscle. You want to make sure those legs are nice and controlled as well. A real quick hop out and back in. Just keep those lungs open, breathing normally. That core temperature should be coming up. You might even be starting to break a sweat by this point. Got one more exercise to go. That's going to be high knees. And go ahead and switch it. Moving on to those high knees. Your last one. Nice quick motion, driving those knees up as high as you possibly can. Trying to get a good full range of motion on that leg. Making sure you're barely letting that foot touch the ground before you're pulling it right back up again. Just keep that motion going as quickly as you possibly can. Keep a nice clean form, driving those knees up as high as possible. Got about 10 seconds left. Just keep them going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Good job. This warm-up is complete.